Hello Goomba Nation, Goomba here, and I want to start off with a bit of an apology. Uh, like I do usually with a lot of my videos. So let me try to lay out my predicament for you. So what happened is, I was going to do a couple of videos. First I was going to do a Minecraft party video. Well, that's not true. Really it started with when CNC wanted to do a video of us ship battling some of our Starfleet ships we had made on single player. It was all going well, but my computer got a quite bad spike of lag, and we couldn't do anything because the recording software was derping out, and I was getting like 2 FPS whenever anyone would move a ship, and it was getting kind of annoying. My computer right now is only getting 30, and other than my usual 60, and that's kind of strange because usually I don't get that much, and I'm thinking it has something to do with me not having Optifine. And Optifine is 95% done, so it shouldn't be too long, but I wanted to do a filler video that was kind of interesting for you guys. At our house, me, my brother, and my dad actually all play and build things, and I wanted to show you this private look at a world where we built a whole bunch of stuff. This is all, by the way, built by hand. We do not have, and I'll slash plugins for you, we do not have, as you can see right there, any kind of like world editing software or plugins or whatever. So this is all built by hand. We call this the Golden Gate. Well, let's get started. We call this the Golden Gate. You go up here, and it's got rails, so you can't get in, even though we're the only people on. Before, this actually was my server. This was CNC Craft way back when. It was private. Only my friends could get on it, but we took the world and we made it a private world so that it could be kind of preserved. That's the wreckage over there of the original server. And then here is the Golden Gate. So let's show you what's inside of the Golden Gate. Now, I don't want to break through these bars, so we'll just fly over it. And inside of the Golden Gate, you get this nice, beautiful scene with all these river thingies. And please excuse over there to your left. We'll get to that in a minute. Down in here is our underground church we built. It has this beautiful waterfall display as well as this little well thing I made. I made both of these. And then into the room. Me and Dad built this. This is pretty cool. It's got a little coffee place down in here. And this was all built mostly in 1.2.5, and but we've updated it some for the updates in some areas. And main chapel, bunch of pews. This is kind of cool. If we turn both of these on, water comes out of the sides of the cross, and you have lights turn on overhead. We got this kind of layout idea from the church that we go to. It's pretty awesome. I like this thing a lot, actually. It took a while to build and to plan out, and for a while there the cross was actually mismade, so when we came back in about a couple days ago or so, we fixed that for you guys. We also built a little library. We plan on adding a little more to this in the future, but library's got ladders and books and whatnot, everything that you probably want. And if you hear any Wii music in the background, I don't have my recording headphones on, so my brother's actually playing with Wii Sports Club or whatever that is. We got a Wii U. I forgot that the video that I mentioned that in I don't actually have. So, yeah, yet again, please excuse that up there. We'll get to that in a minute. I know you're all itching to probably see that. But, this is the pool. And the pool is a pool. It's got pools and it's got beach chairs, whatnot, you know. It's a pool, for crying out loud. And then this is the church from the outer scale. So, we have the church kind of being the shadow of the cross. Mostly for symbolism and just for the cool lookingness. And I like it. I like this church a lot. It looks awesome. Now let's go straight into the underground tunnels. First we'll go to the vaults, which this is a direct passageway I made to the vaults. As you can tell, when I made this it was 1.3 because of the overuse of emerald. When it first came out I was like, oh, there's emeralds, and I just kind of put them everywhere. So you'll see quite a bit of emeralds in this passageway. And up here, and more emeralds. And then you got this over here. This is the lock to the safe. And, ooh. Wait, hold on a second. My dog needs letting out. Lol. So, I just got finished from letting my dog out, and oh, look, looks like the safe was unlocked for me. I guess I can go grab the riches then. And, oh, look at this. Look at all these. Nice. Lots of gold, too. I'm kind of a dwarf at heart, so I'll take that, but you get the point. I built this little safe lock down here with just a normal dip switch lock. But, yeah. And then we go up here, the Emerald Passageway of Doom. And we get to, my dad built this, we call it the big room. And you're about to see why. Because it's a big room. It's a pretty big room. That's for sure. And we have witches in it, for whatever reason. But it's got some cool things in it. Let's see here. Up here goes out to one of the entrances to the caves. This was originally a cafe I made, but it failed, and so we decided to make it a entrance to the caves. Down here leads to just a random thing that no one ever built. And this, which is a little road. Yet again, it's another circle. You go through here, and it goes to the floor lowers, and then you just climb up these steps here. Get to another passageway. What's really cool is our tower, our keep. The keep is right up here. You just gotta climb these stairs, and there's a couple flights up through here, and then you get to the keep, where in here it looks out over all of my territory, and yeah. So now we'll go down here, boom, and now we'll leave. And this is my dad's house. And my dad's house is kind of cool because, and we'll get to my other stuff in a minute, but my dad's house is kind of cool because it has no doors. So you have to go all the way over here to the end of the gate. And there's this little passageway where you can actually go through these doors. And it leads down into these steps. And then this really colorful hallway, which almost gives you like some kind of hypnotizing-ishness whenever that ends up happening. That's the inside of my dad's house. Pretty nice, huh? So then we'll go back down here. And we will go around into here. And we're out. But now let's show you my brother's mansion. Now, we actually built my brother's mansion. My brother didn't actually build his mansion. So we just call it my brother's mansion because it's my brother's, not because my brother built it. I know it's confusing, but you know, that's just what we do. But before we get to that troll face, let's look at my ingenious button lock. Now, if you follow my channel for a really, really long time, you'll know that I used to do really, really kind of derpy videos. I actually got a lot of views at one point. One of them was about the first button lock ever, and it wasn't the first button lock ever, but I didn't know that. So what I did was, I built this, and if I'm honest, I completely and totally forget how to unlock it. I forget the combination, but I know you'd press 2 buttons and it would open this door. But I have no idea how that is done anymore, so if I'm honest, I have no idea, but I've already taken the liberty of pre-opening this place for you, and here is the very complex redstone that I did when I was about 10. It isn't fun, but at the same time, this is pretty cool. I liked it, and yeah, it's quite complex actually. I learned a lot of these redstone dip switches here. And things like that, but I haven't done it in a while, so, you know. But, button locks, they're not fun. But I'll eventually, figure out that code and show it to you. And then, I know you're itching to see what that thing is. I know you know what it is, but I'm just not going to tell you, I'm trolling you. Alright, this is my brother's mansion, and, it's cool. He's a bit of a hacker. As you can see, he isn't very legitimate about what he does. He's just a little bit of one of those people who just likes to /give/ whatever the nuggets. But he has some wool, some beds, strangely oriented. But you know, you can get over it. It's his house. He can do whatever he wants with it. Now, of course, there's one more thing to show you. One more thing that's quite cool, and that's this glowstone Elvis sign that I made for my dad since he's a big fan. Of course not, though that is kind of cool. I built that. This is even cooler. This, I built myself. This is the USS Enterprise. Thank you very much. I built this completely 100% legitimate over a course of about 3 days. Though I didn't work non-stop. I only worked it around when my dad got home, so you know, I haven't worked on it like 24/7 Skyblock style or whatever, but I have done pretty good on it, and it looks pretty good. I wanted to incorporate some of the design elements from the Enterprise D and the Enterprise A. For instance, I liked the circular-ish disc, although mine isn't too circular. It's actually more of a... It actually takes more of this, I don't know, sided object than a circle. But and then I wanted to use the kind of large, flattish-looking disc of the Enterprise D, because I think that looks good. And so it may not be completely the Enterprise, though I think it looks a little bit like the Enterprise C. You know, because it kind of looks like it, though the Enterprise C's disc is a little bit more flashy. But you know what I mean. So, that's all cool and good. It took a while to build. I built this all by hand. This cylinder here is 45 blocks long, and then afterward I went to build this 30 block high, very short little star dock. So you have this long flight of 60 steps around in a circle, which take a while to get up, so we'll just float. And you get to the top here, and it goes into this kind of cool black and yellow hallway of glass, and then boom, you're inside the Enterprise, which I haven't done any actually interior design yet, though I'll fill you in on if you want to when I do. Just put some of those there, and yeah. So the Enterprise is probably the biggest thing I've ever built. I do take some time in designing ships, and if you want, in fact I will, I'll go ahead and log off of this, since there's nothing else to show really. And I'll go to my single player, and I'll show you this, which was going to be in the video that we're gonna do that it lagged out on. This is the Starfleet Museum. And the Starfleet Museum is a place where we build ships. So I'm going to show you CNCs first. This is CNC's attack stylization. I have no idea what it is. Fighter, I think he called it the CNC ship. I like the design. It has a lot of cannons in it. That's why it probably pwned one of mine a couple times. Then I pwned it, so it was all good. And this is, I like this one a little bit better than that one. I like this one. It looks a little bit more true to the series. It's a Prometheus class, Prometheus class Raider, Prometheus class, whatever he called it. It's got lots of cannons. It's got more cannons than cannons. And I actually pwned this thing with one of my ships. Literally, this thing splits into 3. If you've ever watched Star Trek, you can split this thing, and it has like whatever that thing is called. Something flight delta, like delta attack gamma thing mode of doom, but whatever it is, he did it, and I actually pwned it. I pwned every single part one by one. I pwned his disc, though he may have kept his disc a little longer because he still had a couple of cannons on it. And now I'll show you mine. If you didn't watch CNC's video, he stole my design. Just kidding. I actually gave him permission to use it. I haven't watched the video, so I don't know if he actually said that it was my design. But whatever. This is the Delta Flyer, and this is my original design that he based his fighter off of. I did a couple of edits after the one that he has, actually, to make it look more rounded, but it's basically the exact same thing. There is... the only thing I changed was on the back here. Originally, it was like this. Whatever it was. Yeah, it was like that in the back, pretty much, and so I didn't like that, so I changed, made it a little bit more rounded, a little bit more nice and easy to look at. But it's the original Delta Flyer, pretty much. He did, like I said, a couple of edits to it. We'll go ahead and show you the interior of it. So, as you can see, it's practically the same, but he just did a couple of his edits to it, and that's fine. And then, something he didn't make, that I made, was from my first ship, and it's just a kind of miniature Klingon bop, as he calls them, a bird of prey. And it's made to look like the ones from the Next Generation, except it's a little bit smaller. But it's cool looking. It's got pretty much everything you need to do, and yeah, it's a bop. That's what it's made to do. It has a couple cannons. I would have put more cannons on it, but I didn't because I really made this to look cool. Not really to work as well, but it's got little cannons in the front, you know, and it's got these really, really long, boring redstone thingies. I'll show you in there. It's just a big, long redstone thing. And then, so, you know, these shoot fire charges. So I just thought that was needed. And so I made the wings hollow for that. But it looks really cool. And it's very, very unmaneuverable. But what it is good for is fighting. Because, well, it is good for soaking up hits, if you will say so. So it's not really good for fighting in, since it has very little cannons, but it's good for soaking up hits because these big wings and attention to detail, you can just rotate the ship and then it will just soak up all your cannon hits while you're just sitting pretty shooting them. So it is quite nice. The problem is if they take you out right in the nose and destroy your iron blocks, you're done. You are pretty much dead. Though what I did do later is I didn't, before we saved the world, that I actually took those blocks out on the side and I added some cannons so that I could rotate it. But the problem with that is that when I did rotate it, he was right here, and he was right on top of my wing, and so I couldn't move up or anything, so he was just sitting there shooting me in that place, killed me. But I eventually got him. It just takes a lot of careful. You do not want to break the front, and you may want to add in, I should add in later designs, a little more cannons around the side of the bop. But, you know, whatever. This was mostly just made to look really, really cool. Not really to be, you know, a fighter. But it just looks awesome. So, anyways, that is my ship design and whatnot. With the nuggets, whatever. So, yeah, I really take a lot of time. I like to build a lot of big things. And the Enterprise over here is probably one of the coolest things I've ever built in Minecraft. If you're interested, and you have built an Enterprise, and you want to, and you know, it's probably bigger than mine. Mine's kind of small compared to some. But if you've built one, you want to show it to me, then please, by all means, go ahead and give me a shout out on my Twitter at Goomba Plays Game. And I keep saying Goomba Plays Games, but it's actually an M, not a Z, if that makes any sense. And now for my outro. Subscribe and like, and if you have a comment or suggestion, leave it in the comments, and I might just follow up on it. Thank you very much for watching this very impromptu and kind of strange and starship-filled episode of The Goomba Show. Good night.